Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, across all platforms. You've stumbled onto the Gaming Tangents podcast. Woo! Yes.
Wow, that was a broken up woo.
What? Why? Who broke it?
My voice.
Oh. Well, son, what you've done is you've hit an age where young men such as yourself begin to go through a change, if you will.
Yeah.
That change is called the Gaming Tangents Podcast. We are a gaming discussion podcast where we talk about all things in gaming's past, present, and future, and do our best to stay on topic. I'm Benji.
And I'm Maverick.
That's right. Hey, man, we had a nice Memorial Day break, a week's break. Mm-hmm. How you feeling? Got all rested up?
Yeah, and I'm not dying in my bedroom.
Well, that's good. That's a positive. It's a move in the right direction.
Yeah, well, the bedroom I'm living in right now, it's collects a lot of heat, and the air conditioner busted. Oh.
So, okay.
This room was a sauna for 3 days over all Memorial Day weekend.
Oh.
It sucked.
Oh, so sorry.
It sucked. Not even the fans at full blast could keep this room cool.
Does it get humid out there?
Dear God, yes.
Oh my.
It's awful.
Not my most favorite.
One of the reasons why I'm not too thrilled about this place.
Yeah. No, I can't deal with humidity in the slightest. And here I am going to Japan in the middle of summer. It's going to be fun.
Lucky you. Lucky you.
Hey.
I mean, lucky you that you're going to Japan, but I don't know how humid it is out there.
It's horrible. Did you ever go to Florida? Did you go with us?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I've never been to Florida.
I don't know if it's any worse than Indiana, but ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
If you've ever actually been in a literal sauna, that's what it feels like.
Oh, yeah. I've been in plenty of saunas, but still.
Literally feels like that. As soon as you walk outside, you're just dripping. Dripping.
Yeah, not the kind of weather I like.
No, me neither. I don't survive well. I'll stay here where it's nice and temperate.
Even in California, when it does get humid, at least in the evening, the cool air comes in, you know?
Right, yeah, it kind of blows it all away. For the most part, we have our times. We definitely have our times.
I know.
But yeah, not as bad. I can't deal. Although nights are okay in places like Japan and Florida. Nights are comfy because you can go out in a t-shirt and shorts and be totally comfy all night long.
I can understand that.
That I can do.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So what you been doing? What's been going on?
Nothing much, just working. I've decided I am going to go back to school to get my bachelor's degrees in journalism.
Oh my, the long sought after journalism goal. That's good, man. You should see that through to the end, I think.
I'm going to try this time. I was so close last time.
Yeah.
And I have to take some refresher course. Plus, I think it's going to ease up some of my other issues in some ways, and while adding a little stress on some ends. But you know what? I'm going to be learning stuff, so
we all need a little stress, quite honestly. It's what keeps us moving forward.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, good.
But yeah, so I've been doing that, and then as far as gaming goes, I haven't really played anything. If anything, I've been playing a lot of King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match.
Oh, getting yourself ready, huh?
Well, my son, I got him into the game inadvertently. I showed him the game one day. I said, "Hey, I want to show you this game," and I showed it to him. I actually showed him King of Fighters 96 first. And then
the best one.
Yeah, and he loves it. Mm-hmm. So he'll switch between that and King of Fighters 98 and occasionally King of Fighters 13, but King of Fighters 98 appears to be his favorite one because he likes to be able to play as the bosses. Not that you can't do it in the other one, but he likes to play the bosses as a team, so he likes to play as Regal and Orochi and Genitz. And he finally learned how to do the fireball move today.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats. Moving up.
Yeah, so he was really excited.
Milestone marker.
it was funny to see him do that because I was like, I don't remember when I was able to pull off moves. I got him started by doing the charge moves. So he did all that. I said, hey, use Leona, use Ralph. I said, use Ralph because Ralph, you can charge him and you can repeatedly push the buttons and you can get like the machine gun punch and whatnot. But then he tried playing Regal and he finally started getting the pulling out the fireball move and he was so happy.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
So, there's that, and then outside of that, I haven't been playing much. I thought maybe my PlayStation 3 was going on the fritz because there was so much. The fan was getting so loud, but then I thought about it, and it's like, no, it's because of this heat.
Yeah, although you probably don't want to play it too long in that heat without any kind of a cooling system.
Yeah, that's the thing I kind of messed up on. But it's still working, so I just didn't play it until we got the air conditioning back on in the house.
Oh, here's hoping it's all right.
That's fine. I mean, okay. He played it all weekend.
Well, good. All right.
What about you? Have you been playing anything?
Me? What have I been doing?
Or playing.
What it is I am playing? Still working through BioShock 2. Because dang it, I don't really want to move on to too many other games until I finish that for some reason. I've even put Fallout on hold until I finish that. So finally been making progress. I was stuck on one part of that game for months, and then I finally moved forward, and so now I'm chugging along at a decent pace finally. So that's been cool. That game is actually a lot more fun than I had originally given it credit for. Before I told you should at least play the first one, I'm starting to actually feel like you should probably play them both.
It's probably there are some games that are like that where it's like for me it's Final Fantasy X-2. I avoided it like the plague for the longest time because that, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. That first chapter, my God. Once you get past the first chapter, it's not so bad.
Yeah. The thing that was kind of turning me off to it was that the first one, it was, I guess you could consider it open world because you could go everywhere in Rapture that you've been before. As long as you've unlocked it, you could go back to other areas. But this one is very linear. Like, you just keep progressing forward. Like, you can move around the map in whatever stage you're at. But once you move on to the next stage, you can't go back. So, like, every section of Rapture that you go to, you're kind of stuck there.
I see.
So I'm sure there was a storytelling reason why they did that. And so that was kind of like, that's kind of lame. You can't go back and find secrets and stuff. But I eventually got over it. And the story is actually pretty intriguing. It's getting more intriguing, actually, I should say, as it's gone on. So
I see.
And the graphics are a little bit better. The character models are a little bit better, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I was like thinking of open world games that are in first person. There aren't too many that are just in first person specifically.
Yeah. So still fun. I recorded a Let's Play with my son last week. Mega Man 2 on difficult.
Wait, is it a Let's Play you're putting up on?
I don't know if I'm going to put it up anywhere. I actually haven't cut it together yet into anything that would be entertaining to watch. But I'm going to do that, and then I'm, kind of consider how comfortable I would be putting my son on the internet or not. And then,
I don't blame you on that one.
And then we'll see if I find that it's entertaining enough to where people would actually like it. And maybe I'll consider it. Maybe I'll put it somewhere where it's a bit more secure to watch, like maybe some kind of if we were to ever do like a Patreon thing and I feel like this is something people would enjoy, maybe I would put it on there.
I see.
But it was just something to do for fun. He enjoyed it. He's kind of getting a kick out of like recording himself because he knows about like Markiplier and there's some other YouTubers that we watch. Not that I'm consistently watching Markiplier. I basically only watched him for his FNAF videos, and I would show the kids after I'd watch them, so I knew where to mute.
Right. And even then, it's kind of hard to do.
It is. You know what I've actually been thinking about doing for Halloween? And again, I'm not that I don't like the person Markiplier. I'm just not like the biggest fan of Markiplier, just because I'm not actually big into Let's Play videos.
Right.
But he's the one whose FNAF playthroughs I've liked watching the most. So I've consistently would wait for his FNAF videos to watch those. I was thinking about getting all of those and then running them through a video editor so that I could bleep him out.
Oh, there you go.
Bleep him out and blur out all like the middle fingers and stuff. and then stitch them all into one long video that we could watch like on Halloween time.
There you go.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, so we'll see. Maybe that might be fun for them.
Yeah, I probably should do that with AVGN because
that's probably a better idea than just being like, "Here, son."
We've been watching him, and I watched him with him, but like I think we've watched all the episodes that are quote unquote appropriate for him because there are some of the ones that have a little more like sexual content to it, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't show this to him. So I forget some of them too. Like I haven't shown them.
You gotta figure that they're all gonna have something.
Yeah, but I mean, like something that heavy, some more the more heavy stuff. You know what I mean? Like when he starts using sexual terminology and whatnot, then I have to like, okay, because it's like it's one thing to be swearing and everything like that, but today's society gets out of hand with any little thing that's said, and the last thing I need him to do is repeat something like that, and then all of a sudden everyone goes apeshit,
Yeah.
So I don't know, but one thing we did to get out of the house, I took him to see X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, how was that? A movie I have not seen.
Well,
so no spoilers.
Let's see. Let's spoil
Don't spoil the last one either, because I got to get to that this week sometime. There was a long period there where I fell behind on movies, so please forgive me if I need to catch up a little bit.
Right. No, it wasn't great. I enjoyed it, but I am once again reminded why I hate Cyclops as a character. Never liked that character. Not in the cartoon, not in the video games, not in the original trilogy, not in this one. Yeah. Hate that character. Jesus Christ, I hate that character.
Yeah, he's been way too... I don't know how to describe him. Just Stonewall McGee.
Yeah,
this is the thing we're doing. This is why we're doing it. So listen to me. Those are the orders.
But it's a I felt like they kind of were trying to... I don't know, a lot of people didn't mention this, but I kind of felt like it was more like they should have called the movie Jennifer Lawrence Apocalypse. Because
hey man, they don't know if she's coming back, so they're gonna get as much Jennifer Lawrence bang for their buck as they can.
But I mean, she's not even... She looks so... And everyone's been saying it, but and it's true. She doesn't look into it. She's like, okay, you're all X-Men now. Where's my paycheck? Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like with her. It's just like, okay, but put a little more oomph into your character, And I felt like they're kind of overusing her as a main character. I mean, it was fine in X-Men Days of Future Past because it wasn't just... It didn't seem like it was all about her, even though she was the one that they were after. And this one is like... and I can't spoil it as to why she's focused on so much, but it's just I don't know. I just if you're gonna be that way, I mean, shoot, we're about to head into... I guess the next movie's gonna take place in the 90s, so bring back Rebecca Romijn.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bring
That was a lot of the first reports I was reading. And then, of course, I'd seen like one or two articles of like, why X-Men Age of Apocalypse is better movie than Captain America Civil War. There was a couple of those articles, and I'm like, really? I haven't heard that much about it. And I went and checked on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, oh, no, that's a 83% Captain versus a 20-something% X-Men movie. Please explain your argument.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a lot of people trying to poop on Civil War just because it's doing really well. Have you noticed that at all?
You know,
Not a lot of people, but like there's people that are trying to be very vocal about this is actually a really bad movie.
Well, and people are entitled to their opinion for that. They don't like it. They don't like it. You know, not everyone's gonna like every.
Right.
You know, not one movie.
Why write an op-ed about it though? That's my thing.
If they're going to shit on it just to shit on it, you know, then it's kind of stupid to do that. But I mean, if they have a legitimate reason for not liking it,
like they act like Captain America being really good and everybody loving it apparently makes the other movie less as enjoyable. Like if you enjoyed X-Men more, good on ya.
Right. And I can't say that this movie was better than Captain America. No,
I don't think most people can, but there's a few op-ed pieces that have shown up on my feeds and stuff.
Not by a long shot.
Why
Sorry.
is that your argument? Why can't you say, well, this is why X-Men is a good movie? Not, this is why it's better than Civil War. All you people who really thought Civil War was such a great movie. Like, I know Civil War had its flaws. We've pointed them out an episode or two ago. Like,
well, yeah, but that's the thing. And it's like, Civil War was well constructed. You know, this movie's a little bit of a mess, and I think part of that reason
sounds like Civil War was better acted too.
Yeah, there's that too. But that was the other problem is that I think a lot of people have the timeline in mind. And so everyone's like, well, that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense, and this doesn't make sense. And it's like,
wait, which timeline?
This new timeline
for the X-Men.
That they're on. For X-Men, yeah, because
that I've also noticed too is people like trying to figure out how it's supposed to piece back together to the original trilogy, and I'm like, it's not. The whole point of that last movie was to erase a lot of what the original trilogy was,
mainly the third part,
right? So that's why it's not going to happen, folks.
Right, but there's only one problem I have with the timeline, and that is Jubilee. You know, I mean, even after putting some thought into it, I could see where it's plausible because she's a teenager in this movie, and I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I see it, but I'm pretty sure she was a small child in X2.
Yeah, she was pretty young. She may have been a teenager. She may have been like a young teenager, around that.
She was young,
right?
That's the point. X-Men Apocalypse, she's a full-grown teenager, and it's like, okay, the only plausible thing I can think of is that her parents got busy earlier than they did in the other timeline.
Yeah, just the timeline skewed with when they met.
But that's the only plausible thing I can think of.
That can happen.
You know?
I mean, you can write it off as that. You know, the timeline shifted. Everybody's fates changed, including her parents.
Right.
And they got together. So who knows? It's fine.
But the one thing, this movie has generated some controversy.
Of course, it's gotta.
Of course, and now. I don't know who the instigator was, but I read that Rose McGowan, of all people, has been making a big deal about this. But
alrighty,
the billboard. Have you heard about this?
Is this the Apocalypse and Mystique billboard?
Yeah. They're making a big deal out of it, saying it promotes domestic violence.
Oh, was it because of the big header up top saying, you know, it's not a black guy, she fell down some stairs? Wasn't that the tagline for the movie?
Yeah, she fell down the stairs.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that would upset some people.
I'm not trying to make light of domestic violence, people.
No,
I'm just
making
saying
light
that
of the situation.
It is a very serious issue. My problem is that this was promoting a scene from a movie, and I saw a very interesting meme today that makes a good point. We're seeing a superhero face off a bad guy. Now, Mystique, for me, she's a villain. But, in this movie, she she does play the hero part.
Right.
But she's taking on one of the biggest bad guys in the X-Men universe.
Right.
And and this, that is a scene directly from the movie.
I would have imagined.
you know, and if you watch the movie, the damage he does to some of these characters, again, can't spoil it, but the damage he does to some of these characters, that's nothing. He's holding her by the throat. The only thing I will say is that I don't think, like, he chokes her, but, like, she doesn't get the worst of it. In fact, one of the other characters gets it far worse than what happens to her.
Right. So
and
let's.
on top of that, these are superheroes fighting a villain. It's not like they were husband and wife, and he just decided, bam, gonna choke you.
Yeah. Not only the villain, but like one of the villains in the X-Men, like one of the world-destroying villains of the X-Men universe. So let's explain a bit about how marketing works for people. So usually if you have a poster where you're going to be showing parts of the movie, you kind of want to maybe, in a sense, in one single shot, give kind of the feeling of what the movie is going to be like. So say you were to take a character who is a villain, a giant hulking mass who could, as I stated, destroy the universe, or at least the planet Earth, and you want to make it seem like they are all powerful, then you put the hero that you're going to have in the same shot in a situation where it looks like they might not make it out, so that all odds are against them. That's what this poster is showing you. The movie is called X-Men Apocalypse. Do you know what the apocalypse is, folks? It's not just the name of a mutant. It's a play on words here. Very, very simple play on words.
Right.
It's the end of the world, perhaps, as far as the X-Men see it. And as far as I'm looking at it, Mystique may be the only chance that we have. And, she, might get the shit kicked out of her.
Yeah. You know what? Like I said, she doesn't even get that. Him holding her by the neck like that, I think is the worst thing that happens to her. Because there are male characters, might I add, who get it far worse than she does.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking broken bones, right, kind of stuff, and I'm not. It's for a PG-13 film. Well, if that even means anything today.
It doesn't really mean anything today.
It's pretty graphic, you know.
Wow.
I'm not going to say it's not bloody or anything like that, but I mean, you feel it. You look at it, you're like, oh, ouch, you know. It just pisses me off that they're making such a big deal of this. It's
like, make such a big deal about something, and did it really have to be a Rose McGowan?
Right, I know. That's the thing. I like Rose McGowan as an actress.
I know she's a crazy pants. I already knew that, but does she have to be that much of a crazy pants? It breaks my heart. Heart.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's just.
Not everything is.
I think
they're blowing
it way. They're blowing it way out of proportion, and
as you must if you're trying to get some sort of agenda across. You must blow even the slightest thing out of proportion. Even a poster about a movie where people who can read people's thoughts are fighting people who can change really, really big.
Right. So I don't know. It was like people were just looking for something to complain about, and I was like, again, look at the billboard, watch the movie, and then say something about it. You know, if you picked her up by the neck and then started bitch slapping her, you know, or whatnot, you know, doing the Yuri slap from King of Fighters.
It's the tagline, "Where's my beer, woman?"
Yeah, exactly. Then go ahead and complain, but. Watch the movie at the very least. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm going to be against this." You haven't even watched the movie and see what happens, because you know what? A lot of the guys get it far worse than the women in that movie do.
And again, look, that poster makes it seem like she is the main hero of the movie, and the odds are stacked against her.
Well, again, going back to what I was saying,
That's
they
all
seem to
it
make her the
states.
central character.
That's all it states. Just for that, when my wife comes home, I'm gonna choke her out. That's how mad I am.
Wow, I ain't gonna touch that.
These movies have influenced me so badly. They're posters.
Right.
Next, I'm gonna be facing off across from somebody that I'm versus against.
Oh yeah, we've been inspired by that one already. We made that joke last podcast.
I'm so mad at them. Just gonna stare at them from a couple inches away.
I don't know. It's point is, at least
it's a movie, and whoever made that poster wasn't like,
movie.
Oh yeah, he's a man and she's a woman. I'm gonna make her get hurt by that guy because she's a woman. Nobody was thinking that when they were making the poster.
No, nobody was. I wasn't even. Well, you know what? No, I'm gonna take it back. And this is sad.
I know what you're gonna say.
I actually did think about this because I thought someone's gonna complain about this.
Someone's gonna get mad about this.
Someone's gonna get mad about this. So I just never expected it to be Rose McGowan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's so relevant.
I still like Rose McGowan. I don't know what kind of plastic surgery
relevant?
she had. She looks. She was in Once Upon a Time.
Oh,
okay,
Jesus,
shut up.
You're right.
Yeah, remember young Cora. Mm-hmm. So, but
unfortunately, I have to sit through old Cora in order to watch that.
But anyway, it's just, again, there's just blown out of proportion. And here's the other thing: if it was Apocalypse holding a male character, nobody would give a shit.
Well, they'd be wondering where are all the females in this movie.
Maybe
it'd be this male-centric poster about these male-centric superheroes. No, there's never any girl heroes in these movies.
I'm just making a point that if it was a male character, nobody would say anything. If it was a female holding a male character,
why is the girl the villain?
Like that, then, well, yeah, they probably ask why the girl's the villain, but they wouldn't be saying anything about the guy getting choked.
Oh no, of course not.
So, it's ridiculous. It's just such backward thinking. Such backwards thinking. Well, not backwards. It's what's the word I'm looking for now? It's late.
It is late.
I can't think of the word now. Not backwards thinking. It's such illogical thinking. I guess.
Yeah. No.
So, it's whatever to push your agenda, I guess, right?
Exactly.
So, but again, I'm still shocked that it's Rose McGowan of all people. Like,
and, I mean, I know she's a crazy pants, regardless of how attractive she is. I know she's a crazy pants. So. I'm not that shocked. I just didn't want it to be her or anybody else attractive. I don't know why. Like, attractive people can't be crazy. Look at me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, anyway, so
thanks for that chuckle under your breath.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're sure. Whatever. Speaking of movies,
thank you, because I was trying to figure out how to segue into the next topic. Speaking of movies and people, no, not even speaking of movies. Speaking of people bitching.
Oh, okay. More crazy pants.
I have to say that because this is another issue about people bitching. One that makes us as gamers look like fucking morons. I swear to God. Oh my God. Okay. So there's this game. I have no idea what it's about. I've been hearing about it, but I haven't really been paying attention to it. It's called No Man's Sky. Okay. Apparently it's a big game that everybody's waiting for.
Oh, all right.
And
it does look awesome, by the way.
It was okay. Well, apparently it's been delayed for about a month.
Yep.
By about a month or so.
Yep. Heard about this.
Developer received death threats.
Yeah, heard about that too.
Why? Why have you invested so much time into this game, into a game that's not even out yet, are you being a troll? Are you being serious? Are video games your life? That you have to go out and threaten someone's life over a goddamn video game?
Like it's annoying that we live in a world now where you can't tell if it is or not.
Right.
Like it's the internet. It could honestly be a troll. It could just be some troll trying to make gamers look bad. Like you never know. Or it could literally be some loser who feels like this game needs to come out for some reason, or their life is never going to get any better.
Right. And what gets me is that not only did the developer get death threats, but the guy who reported it, I think Kotaku, I just heard about this. I was listening to Review Tech USA, and I didn't know that the guy who reported this also got death threats.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's like, Kotaku. I'm sure they do every day, but
but for reporting the news on it, he didn't say anything about the movie, about it being bad or anything. Oh, it's been delayed. It's been delayed to this one, blah, blah, blah. He didn't say the game sucks. He didn't say that it looks awful. Didn't say anything like that. And even if he did, so what? It's his opinion.
Yeah. Well, no, it's getting delayed. That's a fact.
So what? Now you're gonna go after the guy who reported it? Jesus Christ, the guy's doing his job. If he didn't report it, then what? You're gonna lose your shit because he didn't report it?
Kill the messenger!
Oh my god! And the thing is that I was thinking about it. Maybe it's just a troll and everything like that. No, a troll is like, or even just not even a troll. Just someone. Okay, like you've heard of what's his full name? I know Boogie. I don't know the number.
Boogie. Francis.
The guy who plays Francis. Yeah. When I first saw this guy, the first video I ever saw of him was a rant about Grand Theft Auto being delayed.
As Francis.
As Francis. I thought this guy was real. Okay. I thought it was real. I even put a comment on his page saying, dude, it's a game. Calm down. You're a grown man, blah, 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 this and that. Then I found out he was actually just playing a character, and I sent him another. He probably doesn't even know that, I mentioned, that I even sent that message to him, but I put that. I thought you were a serious person there. I thought you were seriously serious about all that. I apologize. I have much respect for you because I think the next video I saw was the one, the Draw My Life video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a tearjerker.
Yeah,
that video.
So I was like thinking, okay, well that's different. He's just being angry, playing angry, probably making fun of
people that are like that, and that's the problem. Is he based it off of someone,
right? Exactly.
So that person has to exist.
This guy who's selling, I was like, maybe he's just doing that, but no, that's far more serious. You wouldn't go even as a joke. That's too far.
Yeah. No, definitely not a publicity stunt. So it's so dumb. And here's the thing. No Man's Sky does look pretty awesome, but what if it turns out to be kind of lame? What if it's the next Miitomo?
Yeah.
Something everybody plays for a week or two and then forgets about.
Yeah, I kind of forgot it's there.
Yeah, right?
So
that's just like you just want to track these people down, slap them in the face. Knock it off. Get off the internet. Here's your computer with no internet on it anymore. We will give you a download disc when the game comes out. Sit here and twiddle your goddamn thumbs. Or play one of your 700 other games that you have.
I just want to know where all this entitlement came from. I have to say that it's the anonymity. It's the anonymity.
Oh, yeah, totally.
People being anonymous online gives them more balls than they really have. Try to tell half the shit that you're saying online to someone's face. I'd like to see you actually, say this shit to that person.
And that's not even somebody who's like a fan of games anymore. That's somebody who has gone so far beyond that games coming out has now become their life. like it's gotten to, like anybody who's a fan of games is typically a fan of developers, of the people who make that game. They understand the process. They know that these things take time, that there can be delays, that there can be games that don't meet expectations. And that's just one of those things you learn to live with as a fan. You know that these things are going to happen. Once you get to that point where you're like, the game is delayed, this has ruined my life. Like, you're no longer a fan of games. Like, you've crossed a line.
You've got problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember those days where, when you and I were younger and we anticipated the release of a game, and then for it to get delayed or, canceled or whatnot. And it's like, but then a couple of weeks, a couple of days later.
Yeah. It's like a sigh of disappointment, and that's it. It's like, oh, man.
I think the only game that I'm still disappointed about is Mega Man Universe.
And sent death threats over.
Yeah. Let's call it. No, Mega Man Universe. I'm still upset about that. But, I'm probably the only one. So, I don't know.
And the desert of Las Vegas is filled with holes of developers.
Yeah.
Of Mega Man Universe.
So, but, it's just these people piss me off. They really do, because even if they're doing it just because they think that's what's going to get them. I mean, how many?
Right? Like, oh, this will make him move faster on his game that he is working on, pouring in sweat, time, and tears.
Right.
While I'm sitting here doing nothing.
Well, and yeah, that's the thing. Is like, you really think that that's going to push them? It's like, oh, okay, well, I better release this now. No, that's not how it works. So, like, where are your freaking parents? I don't want to go into it because we're parents ourselves. You and I are both parents. We make mistakes and whatnot. But even then, I mean, the way I'm letting my kid watch AVGN, maybe it's not the best thing, but, I'm trying to filter, what I let him watch on that, which is difficult considering his content and everything. But I also know my kid, and I know that he's, he means well. He's not out there causing trouble. If he was a little troublemaker causing everything, I wouldn't be letting him watch this stuff, Yeah.
These are one of those kids with, like, big fat allowance. Doesn't talk to his parents, probably padlocks his bedroom door when he's in there.
Right.
So, and is able to buy his own souped up computer.
Yeah, and I'm
gaming rig.
But the thing is, it's not, and then at the same time, it might not even be the parents. It might just be, it might just be him. I don't know. I mean, with everything I just said now, I try to bond with my kid when I can. I try to take him out to see movies. We try to go golfing or play sports. Out to dinner, things like that. Things that because unfortunately my son doesn't live with me, so I try to spend as much time with him as possible. And his mother does take him out biking, and they watch movies together, and they do little pet projects together. So he's active outside of all that. And so we're trying to do things that'll keep and we're also trying to teach him to keep an open mind.
Right.
And so I have to tell him these things. So like when I do show him this stuff, like AVGN and whatnot, I tell him, don't repeat this stuff. I don't want to hear this coming out of your mouth. I don't want you to hear you saying this at school in front of any of the instructors or whatnot. You and your friends want to talk about it like that, that's fine. But you're being disrespectful as an adult to an adult when you talk like that to an adult.
Yeah.
And he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. I mean, you know how I know? Because he gets onto me when I curse. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world when he sees it on thing. But then when he hears Dad curse, he's like, "Dad, you just said a bad word." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, kids are funny that way. One of the biggest things I think to always try and pass down to the younger youth is that everything is not a crisis.
No, it's not.
And that's one of those things that kids typically pick up when they're little. Because they don't understand the scope of the world.
Right.
And that's one of the major things that I think kids tend to take with them nowadays into teenagehood that they shouldn't be. kids should already be coming into teenagerhood. Is that a teenager dumb? Is that a word? Am I making up words here? I don't know what I'm doing.
I think teen dumb would sound
kids
better.
Became dumb teenagers.
I mean, well,
they should already be prepared for the fact that everything is not a crisis. Just because something doesn't go your way doesn't mean that the world is over.
Yeah.
Which a lot of kids don't come equipped with at this point, which is why you start to see a lot more of like kids reacting to bullying the way that they are nowadays. A lot more kids becoming suicidal or genocidal,
right?
Depending on what school. Like, everything is not a crisis. A game getting delayed is not a crisis. The world will go on.
Right, and that's the thing.
You'll be fine.
And that's what I have to tell my kids sometimes. You know, like you want to punish him. I'm a person who believes in spanking and everything like that. I've barely ever had to spank this kid because just taking away his stuff is the end of the world. And I tell him, I'm just like, it's not the end of the world. You have other things you can do. So.
Yep. But if you want it back, you need to straighten up, kid.
Yeah, pretty much. So, it's. But I mean, that's the way it is, and I have to tell him it's not the end of the world. It's like, he's playing soccer now, and he lost the game that would determine whether or not they make it into the finals. And you have to tell him that, hey, you're not going to win every game.
Yep.
It's just you got, and I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now, but basically I'm just trying to teach them to, life's not always going to go your way,
Yeah.
And these kids,
my little one's in that mode right now. Like, he hates losing, which is really tough when you're playing video games.
Right.
No Man's Sky will come out. Feel lucky it's still coming out. You know how many games we've wanted to have come out that have gotten just flat out canceled?
Mega Man Universe.
There. Take a lesson from Maverick. Feel his pain. But look he's still here. Excuse me, he's still here. Mm-hmm. He's not going to the offices of Capcom with an AR-16. It's all right. He's all right. He's going to get through it. You know why? Because he's got 20 other versions of those same Mega Man games he's already played.
Hush. Hey, Mega Man Powered Up, it's a good game, and it should have been on the PlayStation 3. But anyway.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure you'll get the PlayStation 4 version, so it's okay.
Oh, hush.
There'll be time.
Anyway.
Did you hear Nintendo is going to get into the movie business?
I heard something about this, and I heard that...
They heard our podcast, That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened,
They heard us ripping into Mario Brothers, the movie. And they were like, oh, we don't want to end up on another one of these episodes.
Shigeru Miyamoto was like... he was like, these two are right. We should fly down to San Francisco and call them.
We're still waiting, by the way.
Yeah, we are still waiting. Oh, by the way, I'm in Indianapolis, so...
Shigeru.
Yeah, so you're going to have to make 2 trips. So
they can afford it. All that fat Donkey Kong money.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I heard about this, and I mean, if Nintendo's gonna have control over it, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna give it along to other companies, and it's gonna be the mess that Super Mario Brothers was, no.
Who knows, man? Because I mean, like, so far Warcraft has been getting pretty crappy reviews.
Has it? Because I didn't even know the movie came. This is how little I care about Warcraft.
I don't know if it's out here yet, but it's been released overseas, and there have been some overseas reviews that have been translated. And it seems like, unless you're a big fan of Warcraft, you're not going to enjoy this. And even then, you might not enjoy this.
Yeah, it's...
That's what it seems like. And Angry Birds seems kind of like it did well the first week, and then just kind of dropped off.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's what I'm understanding.
But I heard it actually did fairly decent. It didn't do terrible because, I mean, I heard their budget wasn't too high.
Yeah, it wasn't too big.
Yeah, so...
Actually, I listened to a podcast with Clay Cadis and the other director last week. And they had actually come in under budget, they said. So, yeah, they didn't even hit their original budget as it was.
Well, there you go.
So, that was fairly interesting, listening to them talk about a movie I have no intention of seeing. It's kind of funny. One of the first video. Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say it's successful in the sense that there haven't been other ones, because like Resident Evil's been successful. First Silent Hill was successful. So they've been good. So it's probably like right up there is what it sounds like with like those movies. Like there still hasn't been that breakaway video game movie yet.
Right.
That's like started a trend like the comic book movies have.
Yeah. Well, again, it was a movie from nothing. It was animated, which is probably where Super Mario Bros. Should have gone, technically. And that's the thing. Like, I think that an animated Super Mario movie, if those plans with Sony were true,
yeah.
I think
look at Ratchet
Mario
and Clank.
movie,
That bombed hard.
Well, Ratchet and Clank.
That was animated.
I didn't even know that movie was coming out. But then it's like, again, I've not seen the movie, but from what I'm hearing, it's cutscenes from the video game. And on top of that, it's not even all the cutscenes. So I heard more is resolved in the actual video game than it is in the movie. So I could understand why. And then of the marketing, I had not seen any trailers. The first time I saw any kind of Ratchet and Clank promotional material was when I went to Las Vegas, and I just happened to pass by a sign. I was like, they're making a Ratchet and Clank movie? I was like, I thought they were making a Sly Cooper movie. That was the only time I had heard of something until the movie was released.
Maybe they got confused. Who knows? Did you see the Assassin's Creed trailer?
I have not, but
looks,
I'm just like,
it looks okay. Gonna reserve judgment, but so far it's got a real Prince of Persia feel to it. But we'll see. And again, I know you said you liked it.
I liked Prince of Persia.
I fell asleep.
I thought it was a good movie. So
I fell asleep. Which is sad, because I really liked those Prince of Persia re-release games, the reboot games.
Oh yeah, no, those were good. And apparently there was a movie that was based off. There's a game based off the movie.
Was there?
Yeah,
I thought the movie was based off the Sands of Time storyline.
Right, but I think there was a game released on PS3 that was supposed to like based off the movie, or at least it was supposed to be released around the same time as the movie. I never had any interest in it. Although looking back on it, I should probably go back and give it a shot.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, the whole thing with Nintendo making the movie is like, my only other question is, what would they do exactly? Because you'd I mean, Mario talks, but like with the exception of Super Mario Sunshine, none of the characters really have dialogue in those games. Like they have speech bubbles and whatnot, like Bowser talks and Bowser Jr. talks. But like, if you've ever played Super Mario Sunshine, they actually are voice acting in that game, with the exception of Mario. Wow, I'm saying it like Mario. With the exception of Mario. They actually have dialogue in the game. Princess Peach, Toadsworth, Bowser, who sounds awful, by the way. Bowser Jr., which you can't say he sounds awful because that's the first time you've ever heard him. That was his first appearance.
He can still sound awful.
Yeah, but I mean, he sounded...
If you don't like listening to his voice, he sounds awful.
He sounded like, if you've ever played any of the games after he's made his appearance and you hear that little laugh that he does, that's more or less, his voice right there.
It's not too bad, though.
But...
I mean, Angry Birds didn't have any voices either.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is but when you think about it with Mario, though, it's kind of become a thing where he doesn't really talk. Like, even in the Mario RPG games, he speaks a bunch of gibberish, He's like, I don't even know what he's saying,
Yeah. That's maybe you can fill an hour and a half with "It's a me, let's a go, okie dokie."
Well, then think back to what is it, Zelda? How would you make a movie with Zelda? Because, Link, Shigeru Miyamoto has stated that you will never hear Link talk. I mean, well,
in a game.
I know, but if it's going to be done by Nintendo, again, that's the thing I'm concerned about. It's like, are they going to keep those same restrictions that they do on the games?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what
it is Nintendo.
Yeah.
You never know.
I don't want to see Link grunt for an hour and a half,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one of the few where I would let somebody take some liberties with the character.
Right. Now, if there's going to be a supporting character who's going to talk, I can see them try to make it work that way, They could do something early on where it starts off in a big fight, like that's the first scene, and Link gets his voice taken. True. I mean, they can do something. They just,
magically,
Metroid,
of course.
Metroid, they could probably.
You can get away with making her talk.
Well, she already had a voice actress, Metroid Other M, which butchered the character.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody really likes that game or counts it.
So, which is sad because she's like one of the most poster children for strong female character right there.
Oh, yeah.
To butcher the character like they did in freaking Metroid Other M. Like, I've not played the game, but I've heard enough and I've seen enough cutscenes to know this isn't our Samus.
Yeah. Oh, there was Team Ninja.
Yeah.
They're not really known for good female characters, quite honestly.
Right. And then
that was a bad choice, man. Team Ninja.
Well, they did the Ninja Gaiden games, and they were, well, at least the first one was good. I've not played the other two. Speaking of characters, gaming tangents, everybody, that's what we're here for. Speaking of other characters,
that's the name of the show.
Again, I've gone back to this. We've talked about it. Aya Brea from Parasite Eve, another character that was butchered as far as character goes. Like,
because she could talk.
Well, she's always been able to talk. I mean, even though it was the PlayStation 1, she didn't have like voice, speech or anything like that. But she was another strong female character who, by the second one, they sexualized her way too much. And then the third movie, apparently she's become
game.
There's third game. Excuse me, the third birthday. She's not the strong character that she was. Now, I haven't played it, but I've heard that this is a complaint about her in that game. But now I'm just going off on tangents. Going back to the Nintendo characters and everything like that. I could see them doing something with their properties. I can see them doing something with Star Fox, something along the lines of what's that show that Team America made fun of?
Star Wars?
No.
You're talking about Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds, yeah, because I mean, I remember the promotional material for that was all puppets anyway, and then they did it again with one of the E3s a couple of years ago. I could totally see them doing a movie like that with puppets, or maybe a TV show or something. Yeah,
movie with puppets would be a tough sell, but releasing it as something else, maybe.
Yeah, well, maybe a short that goes before a Super Mario movie. So, I mean, I could see it happening, and I could see that definitely being aimed towards kids if it was puppets, but, and then as far as a not live action, dear God, not live action, like a movie goes, a CG movie for like an actual serious Star Fox movie.
That would be pretty awesome, I think, if it was done well.
Right. Again, with Nintendo at the helm, it could go either way right now because they're making such great decisions right now.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much good about the Star Fox Zero storyline either.
Yeah, I don't know about the storyline, and I heard the game's not selling well, which is kind of sad. So,
but who knows? They need to kind of get their butts in gear with, everything. We'll get into that in a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah, E3 is just around the corner.
Yeah, but not quite yet. We still got one more week, so we're going to talk about another subject that it's been coming up a lot in the news lately. And so we'll see where this goes. Anyways, baseball, soccer, basketball, ice hockey.
Anymore, not the Box Factory.
I heard that.
Yeah, anyway. No, we're talking about eSports.
Poker. like the pinnacles of sports, televised sports.
Poker's not a sport, by the way.
Don't tell the people at ESPN that. Don't tell them also that League of Legends is in sports.
League of what now?
Yeah. So eSports has been one of these really weird things that people have been trying to get off the ground for a few years now. For those who don't know, it's basically just competitive video game playing, which quite honestly, I think is already a better term for it than eSports. Let's start right there. Okay, so you're probably going to get the clue pretty early on that both Maverick and I aren't really a big fan of eSports to begin with. Let's just start right there with the term that we've decided to call it.
eSports.
Can we not give it that name? Like, putting E in front of things already makes it feel like this is something from 2001.
Right?
Like, we stopped putting E in front of things a long time ago, and the only reason why we even still use it is because we're still using email.
Oh, God. I don't even know where to be.
That term needs to go.
Like a bad habit, it really needs to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, going back
and then
to
you don't
my
have the sports in there, because I don't know why we feel the need to call it a sport. I guess people feel like it's legitimized. Like, again, there's the whole, playing video games versus going outside and playing sports thing that I guess that's a hurdle they're trying to get over, like to kind of normalize playing video games competitively. And I guess they feel like putting the word sports in there will give it that importance that it needs for people to finally recognize it as a legitimate competitive thing that people could do. But it's not working. No one's ever going to believe it. Even when you play sports games in a tournament, like, nobody's still considering that eSports. You're still just playing a video game.
Right.
Like, even other gamers aren't jumping on board with this.
Well, but it's not really a sport. End of story. It's like calling poker a sport. It's not a sport. Why are they putting that on ESPN? Put it on something like, put it on Discovery Channel, because everything apparently now, Ghost shows Kate and 8 plus 8. What is it called? Johnny
Kate 8 Kate.
Whatever.
Plus Kate.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Discovery Channel stuff. I think about the only educational thing they had on there was MythBusters. But
wow, note to self: don't go back and watch the Discovery Channel. Go on.
Well, why call it sports? You're not out there. You're not physically doing anything, unless holding controller is some kind of considered some form of sport.
Right. Yeah.
It's not.
Sports. Well, yeah. I mean, here. Okay. This just drives me insane. There are a lot of things, and I guess maybe this could be used as an argument pro the term esports as well. There are a lot of things that I don't consider to be sports that we call sports. Not to include poker, but like hunting. People consider that a sport.
Right.
Hunting. Golf. In the sense of what I think is a sport, I would not call that a sport. It is a game, mind you, but I wouldn't call that a sport.
Well, no.
So there's already things that are called sports that I think need to lose the term sports. Hunting especially. Not that I'm anti-hunting for food. I'm just anti-hunting for quote-unquote sport. Because I don't understand why you're running around killing animals just so that you can say that you shoot really well. All these things, poker included, video games, they do all require some training to get very good at. They require a lot of repetition and a lot of understanding skills, how things work and all that kind of stuff. Some of them even require a little bit of teamwork maybe, especially the video game ones. So there is a training element involved. There is a sense that you need to be better than other people to be good at it. Like, I get that. But having to term them as sports, I don't know where that came from. Maybe I should look on dictionary.com for like the basis of the word sport, and maybe that in there lies our answer. But that term needs to go.
Right.
Is the short end of my conversation, of my point.
Well, I'm looking it up right now, just the definition.
Okay. You do that. Keep going. So,
full definition of a sport: to amuse oneself, to engage in a sport. I hate when definitions use the word in the definition. That's not helping.
All right, dictionary.com, you've lost all credibility.
It's not dictionary.com. It's merriam-webster.com.
Even worse. Webster himself?
Yeah.
Dude. Dude, I mean, these are the same people that added McJob to the dictionary.
Oh, Jesus.
And then try to claim that it's a real word and not some sort of a political move. But anyways.
So wait, let me give you all the definitions here. To mock or ridicule something, to speak or act in jest.
Wait, that's sport?
Yeah. You know,
wow, that sounds like an old-timey use of the word sport.
Be a good sport. Come on. You know, so I get that. To deviate or very abruptly from type. What? Or very abruptly from type, as by bud variation. Okay. Let's see. Transitive verb. To display or wear, usually ostentatiously.
Okay. There is that term. Wow. I didn't realize how many different uses of the word sport we had.
To put forth as a sport. There we go again. Using the damn thing in the damn word in the definition. Okay. But to amuse oneself. Okay. So... I guess, are they referring
watching
to...
adult videos is a sport, apparently.
Yeah, or let's see. Simple definition of sport. To wear something in a way that attracts attention.
Right.
To play in a happy, lively way.
Like, I get that. Sporting a new jacket, sporting some shoes. Like, I get that.
Okay, it says to play in a happy and lively way. Okay, maybe by that definition, maybe they're talking about eSports, but I don't see... I mean, yeah... Gaming can make you happy, and it can make you lively in terms of being obnoxious, maybe. Not obnoxious in a bad way, but, you know, having a good time kind of way, you know?
Right.
But I don't know. Sports, to me, has always been a physical activity, right? You know? With the exception of, you know, being jokester and saying, oh, come on, be a good sport. Okay, that's different.
Of course.
But
as far as played sports that you play, yeah, we always think it's something that you need to train physically for.
Right.
You need to be lifting weights or running or all of the above. Like that.
It's something physical.
That is sports. Whatever the old term of the word sports is, it has evolved away from that. Right. Nobody thinks of sports as just varying types of games anymore. Excuse me. And so that's where this is just, it's not working for a lot of people, and it's not catching on.
Oh, I don't know whether... And so, I'm not saying don't have it.
Right.
You know, you said it earlier. You know, just don't call it a sport.
Right. Okay. So you're pro competitive gaming, though.
Yeah,
like gaming tournaments and stuff.
Competitive gaming. That's fine. But to put it on something like ESPN, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
have you ever been to an event or a tournament or anything?
The closest thing I've been to was Power Fest way back in 1990, and I was a kid.
What's that? Was that the thing at Blockbuster?
No, not the Blockbuster thing. It was yeah. But it was Nintendo Power Fest, and they had some competitive gaming events there. You know, my friends and I tried to get in the line for the main event, and we didn't realize we had to go into the preliminary rounds first, which we did and lost terribly.
As one would do in sports.
Mainly because I did not win at Tetris. But I mean, I don't see it as a sport. I see it as a competition, and I know now when you talk about competition, that word can be used in several different ways, you know. And in this sense, that's what I saw it as, a competition. Yeah, now I know that sports is considered a competition and whatnot, but again, competition doesn't necessarily mean that it's physical. Right. And that's the thing. For a lot of us, sports is something that's associated with something physical.
Right.
You know,
which typically is the complete antithesis of playing video games. Not in real life, but in people's minds, the general public perception is the opposite of playing video games is playing sports. They seem to be anti each other for some reason.
Right.
And I don't think that's clicking for people. So okay, we call it competitive gaming. Let's say that's the moniker we've given it. Everybody's in agreement. Finally, we've reached a term that's not idiotic. So now here's the thing. ESPN has hours and hours and hours of frickin' poker tournaments. The most boring thing I have ever watched in my life. Apparently, they've tried a few times to get some of these competitive gaming tournaments broadcasted, and they don't seem to get the viewership that like their poker tournaments do. What do you think is going on there?
It's boring. Like you were just saying.
Have you ever watched one? Have you watched one before?
Not necessarily, because I don't know if that's the channel that shows World Poker Tour, if that's even on anymore. I had to test the game, and I was like, wow, if this is anything like what they show on television, this is boring as hell.
Oh, no. I meant, have you watched competitive gaming?
Oh, no. I've not watched competitive gaming on television, no. Okay. It's never interested me. Okay, the closest...
Why? No, why?
Because maybe either the game doesn't interest me, okay, or B, I mean, it's just they're playing what games do they play? League of Legends, you said, which I've barely heard about. I've had friends try to tell me to get into it, and I just couldn't get into it.
I don't think it's your type of game,
right? And so it just doesn't interest me. That's not to say that it wouldn't. There used to be all those old television shows like Starcade or Video Power, where people would play games. Sometimes they weren't games that I didn't like, but then it was a mixture of different games. They'd be playing each other against Mega Man and who can get the furthest, or Super Mario Brothers or whatnot. That kind of stuff interested me. But when I watch this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, well, even watching like the Street Fighter stuff, which isn't on televised, but I've seen some of this stuff online. It's interesting to watch, and it can get exciting at times, but I still don't consider it a sport, because the people are just moving a controller. You're watching two characters.
We're not talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
Stop calling it a sport, mister. Now you're just making me upset. The world has decided that it's called competitive gaming.
Oh,
don't do that. Okay, no, but you've already you were actually already touched on probably the first thing I wanted to move on to next, which is the games that they're showing. So I've watched some clips of these MOBA games. It's just pretty much the majority of the type of esports that they have on TV. But I don't get it. Not fun to watch. I don't understand what's going on. And I don't know who to root for or why I'm even rooting for them.
Right. And
what is the point? Like that's the hard thing about putting it on TV, is that games aren't just one thing. It's not like I'm watching baseball and every single baseball team plays baseball differently.
Right.
Like you always watch baseball and it's always going to be baseball rules. Where it's like every time you watch an esport, they're playing, League of Legends. I don't understand how this is working. This is all confusing. It's just a bunch of bright lights and flashy things, and that's not working. Okay, now they're playing Dota 2. This is a whole bunch of other different kinds of flashy lights, and now I don't understand how none of these things are working. And so there's already a huge step to take just to even understand what you're looking at.
Right. You just mentioned another game that I don't even know what it is. Dota 2.
Yeah, it's the same. They're both MOBAs, which is, it's kind of like you know what an RTS is, right? Like StarCraft.
No. Okay.
Do you know what StarCraft is? RTS.
Real-time simulator?
Real-time strategy games, yes. So it's kind of like that, but instead of you being one person who's managing all these different resources and all those resources go off and fight, you are on a team of 5 and somebody else is on like a team of 5, and then you're supposed to be, and then you control your own character going around the map and attacking all these different points and attacking other characters, from what I understand. And then somehow somebody wins.
Yeah, see,
is what I think it is. And so for your average layman who doesn't really play video games or even at all, that's already a whole lot to kind of process as to what's going on. And then you don't know who's on what team. You don't know what person on which team is controlling which character. Like there's a total disconnect there, and you have no idea what's going on. No idea who to root for or why. You have no vested interest in any of these people. Like they're not representative of any area. I think that would already boost things a lot if you just had like, you know, a San Francisco team, a Seattle team, a Miami team. There's already at least a bit of local pride that people can get behind.
Right.
But when it's just like, we're the digital killers. And I don't know who you are.
Right.
Exactly. I have no reason to root for you versus this other team, you know, the Icy Blasters. Like,
you have no reason to invest your time in.
Yeah, what is the difference between you two? At least I don't watch sports, but at least if the Giants win, like I at least feel a little bit like, well, yeah, at least it was, you know, the guys from down the street. That's cool.
Right.
And so, unless you know people on the team, like personally, like they're your friends,
there's no reason to.
You have no reason to care. And so, but for some reason, these are the type of games that get the most airtime on actual TV. And I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it. You know, and that's the thing. It's like when you trying to compare it to something a little. I'm gonna try to break it down, compare it to something a little more basic, I guess you can say. When it comes to YouTubers, you know, and you know, we're fans of AVGN, you know, Nostalgia Critic, you know, and then, you know, I like Pat the NES Punk, and, you know, other, you know, we won't talk about Markiplier, you know, things like that, you know, and we invest time in their content because we like what they do, but they're not doing it as, and I know this is like a far-fetched thing, but I'm just saying, we're not watching competitively, but we're watching it for entertainment. And that's kind of like and that's the only way I think I can compare it to watching these people who are playing games. If you follow them, you know, through whatever other medium that they're on, because I know that they didn't start out on television,
right?
You know, then you can, you know, then I can see people investing their time in this. But the thing is that people who watch ESPN don't go on. I don't think a lot of the, you know, ESPN caters to a bit of an older audience, I would say.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Definitely. No, you're right.
You know, I don't know if a lot of these people spend a lot of their time online. So why would they know anything about these people? Why are they trying to make this a thing when it's something that started on the web?
Yeah,
you know,
it's just it's not going to work. That's a bad medium for it. The only place I think it could work right now is, although I don't even know how I feel about this saying
Tech
it
TV,
out loud.
G4 Tech TV.
It's not cops. They're not going to show it. No, Maker Studio actually has its own channel now.
Do they?
In some places, yeah. That is probably one of the only places I could see it working and being on TV. Something like that.
Well, yeah, because
now Maker Studios is getting kind of a little big for their britches. So I don't know how I would feel about that. I feel like there's one other channel I've come across that was just like, you know, a bunch of independent YouTubers basically making a TV channel, but I can't remember what it is at the moment.
Polaris?
So that's not going to work. That, or if YouTube Red was going to take off, maybe put it on there. That's connected to the YouTube gaming channel.
But then that's their problem. They're like, because it's all on the internet, they want to put this on actual television.
On TV, and it's tough.
It's not going to work that way. That's kind of like trying to, you know, I bring you back to Quarter Life. I brought this up many podcasts ago. Okay.
Refresh my memory.
Quarter Life was a very popular... I thought it was a YouTube series, but it actually started on MySpace. It was a drama. I did a little more research on it last night, just because I only knew the bare bones of it, but it was a drama that was very popular. Had 36 8-minute episodes, and they slapped all of them together to make 6 one season episodes. NBC picked it up. Well, that happened after NBC picked it up because they tried to bring it to television.
Yeah.
And they had abysmal ratings. Like nobody watched this. They canceled this show that was a hit online, was picked up by a major television network, and then the ratings were terrible, and they canceled it after one episode.
Oh, jeez.
One episode. Okay.
Good Lord.
So it's like when you're trying to bring something that originated online to where you would think that there'd be a bigger audience for this, but think about it. This generation, including us, you and me, who are probably a lot older than, you know, some of these younger YouTubers here. Not that we're big YouTubers or anything, because we're barely scratching the surface here right now, but what you call it? These YouTubers, you know, most of them, they watch their stuff. Most people watch their stuff online.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so why are they going to run to ESPN? You know, I didn't even run into ESPN before the internet was a thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a weird place for it. I don't think that's the right venue. Definitely not the right games.
They used to have this stuff on G4, which that made sense.
Would have been a great place for it.
Right, but well, they've had it before. They've had stuff like that before. Like not League of Legends. I can't remember what games they were, but I remember seeing a show. The only reason I didn't watch it because even then it wasn't my thing.
Yeah. That's just, there's so many different games that you could choose from. I think you know, like Call of Duty tournaments. I'm sure they do some of those as well. I think some of those have been televised. Those at least can be done a little bit better because it's one for one. You can, you know, set up the cameras so you can tell who's who. You can even probably bring up a map to see where everybody is on the map. It can get a bit more exciting to watch.
Right.
And then you can actually at least start rooting for an individual person that you want to see win, or even if they're playing on teams, you can at least hopefully listen. I'm sure you can listen to the calls that they're making on TV as well. I don't know how exciting that is, but at least that's the Call of Duty is like something I don't really play, but I'd be more privy to watch a tournament of that than a MOBA. So you're already losing an audience of people who already just don't care about the type of game that you're playing.
Right.
So like for me like EVO is the huge thing every year. So for those who don't know, EVO is the big fighting game tournament that happens every year. I think I had mentioned a few podcasts ago that I had even gone to an EVO once before it turned into this big, huge mamma jamma that it is now. But it's something that started off very small, had a slow uphill following, gathering, playing at like university gymnasiums and stuff. When I went, it was at the UCLA gymnasium. It was the first one, and now they're in Las Vegas and have these huge giant pots and players coming from all over the world to compete. Like they're streaming it live on the internet with color commentators and all this kind of stuff. And you know they got what do you call it? Endorsements and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's turned into a big thing, but it took them many years to get to where they're at. And out of all things that I would watch if it were televised, it would be that. That to me is the most competitive. It is one for one. It is the closest thing to say, you know, watching UFC or boxing, which I think is more along the realms of where games should be. Like team-based gaming, competitive, I don't think that's ever going to be interesting. But a one-for-one, that gives you more of a chance to follow an individual person. Because nobody's going to learn about a whole team of nobodies and kind of figure out, I actually like these guys. But if you develop a liking for an individual who plays a game, that gives you more interest to watch and see how far that person gets again. And EVO's gotten quite a few famous people to come out of it, like Daigo. That's a name that still gets mentioned nowadays. Daigo, a real famous player. What's his name? Jeffrey? I forget. One other kid. I forget names. Justin Wong. There we go. Justin Wong. Another name that gets mentioned, even if you've never watched Evo, like some of those names you've heard before. So those are already guys coming up. Why not televise Evo?
Because
that, I think people would watch more so. It's easier to follow. Okay, it's a fighting game, so I'm just watching these two people fight each other.
Right.
And it gets flashy. It's close up to the action, so you can see what's going on. And we already understand fighting because of things like boxing and UFC and stuff like that. Like there's already a connection to something else that we've experienced before that people can understand and get behind. And then they also already do have like color commentators, and some of them are getting really good at doing the commentary job. That it's pretty fun to watch now. It is streaming, so if anybody does want to catch Evo, it's coming up this summer. You just search for EVO 2016, and you'll find it. I'm gonna watch it this year, so expect me to talk about it on a future show. That's fine.
Maybe
I'll get you into it. Who knows? Maybe I'll be like, wow, this is actually not as fun to watch as I remember. But being there was fun.
And that's the thing. It's like going back. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there you go. That's the thing. It's for me, it's not my thing, and I'm not saying that's not entertainment. I guess I get it. It's the equivalent of people watching sports, But it's not my thing. I don't have any interest in that. You're right. I have heard the name Daigo, brought around. I don't know what the guy looks like. I just know he's some like really good Street Fighter player, and whatnot. And that's about all I know.
But that's already more than name me one person who plays League of Legends.
My friend Anthony. I don't know.
No, I mean competitively.
I don't know.
Yeah. See, so even just with that, you at least have a slight more knowledge about. I guess what I'm trying to say is put fighting games on competitive gaming on TV instead of League of Legends, but because people are already getting known from that. Whether you even know who they are or not doesn't matter. There's already a name. There's an association that you've already had before, and you're like, oh, this is who this guy is. Well, let's keep seeing if he is as good as they say he is. Like some people will do that, and they'll end up tuning in and staying and watching to see, well, I've heard about this Daigo guy. Let's see how far since I've channel surfed to competitive gaming 2016, let's see how far up the chain he gets, because I at least know who that is, kind of. It's a name I've heard before, and I'm surprised to see this on TV. Like, that makes a whole lot more sense to me already, and then you can start to find out about these other guys that play. I don't understand why they're going for one of the most complicated looking games to ever come out.
Here's another thing. It's like, if they really want to do this, I guess I don't know how television works as far as putting money into a project or something like this, but why not try, like, okay, I guess have a separate entity or something. Kind of like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. They're... for the longest time, I didn't get how that worked, but because it's always still Cartoon Network for me. But like Adult Swim, it's a separate entity on that same network. I didn't even realize that until about a year or two ago.
And neither did I. I was the same way. I thought Adult Swim was just Cartoon Network's nighttime block, like Nick at Night used to be for Nickelodeon.
Right, exactly. So why not have something, where they can do that for gaming, just not associated with the ESPN name? Because, again, if you associate with ESPN, I'm going to automatically think sports,
Right.
And so why even do that? So name it something related to it, or subtitle it an ESPN channel or whatnot, whatever you want to do it, but then test this out, during the evening time, see how it works. If you guys got nothing to show and all you want to show is poker all night, why don't you do that instead? Give it a shot.
Some people apparently watch poker for whatever reason.
I guess so. I don't know. Which is like, that's another, again, it's not a sport. But why not try that? And then why not experiment with all these other kinds of genres rather than some, MMO that they're playing, or, or whatnot.
I think poker has that advantage again of you're watching individual people and seeing their progress through the rankings. That already makes it more personable when you're just following one person, as opposed to, again, the ice killers or whatever the hell I called them.
What? Why not? Okay, I told you that there was a video game called World Poker Tour. I don't know again if that's ESPN or not, but you know what?
That's the one, I'm pretty sure.
Have a show where they're all playing the video game World Poker Tour. There you go.
World Poker Tour Sports Digital Competitive Gaming Show.
Yes.
On ESPN2.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
It literally is almost the same thing, just without any any poker faces.
Honestly, I mean, going back to it, they're trying this on ESPN, the competitive game on ESPN. Why are we harping on this, by the way? The whole ESPN thing. The whole thing is that they need to bring back a video game channel.
That'd be great. It's tough
it is. It's like and the worst part of it all is that it was owned by Comcast, which that was already a problem right there because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Oh, G4.
G4, yeah, because G4. I'm kind of going to segue into another topic that could relate to this in some way because we did bring up that they had those competitive gaming shows on G4. Okay, and I know you got to acquire licenses and this and that, and I don't know if it was a case of that or not, but why not develop a successor to G4? And because there's enough of them now, bring back Cinematech. In some way, shape, or form.
This is all just a big ploy for you to bring back Cinematech, isn't it?
Exactly. Cinematech. The best show ever. I don't care what anybody says. The mix of music and gaming, I don't watch... I don't just sit there and watch gaming clips like that, but the music alone just totally sucks you in. So, okay, bring back Cinematech. Okay, you've got all these video game based cartoon shows now. You got Super Mario, you got Zelda, Captain N, Donkey Kong Country. What other shows were there that were based on that? The freaking Video Power. Were there shows? Sonic Boom, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
I mean, you got these video games, not fucking cops. Okay, and and then you still got bring back a modern day version of Starcade. Or like do a retro thing where you can play old arcade games and and do it kind of in a style of Saturday morning, of Starcade, or the Video Power game show. There's so much content there that they could have put into the show. I don't know if it was licensing issues or what, but if they really wanted to make that channel flourish, that would have been the way to do it.
I feel like that's kind of how they wanted to start, and they just never got the ball rolling with it. Like, they had Digital Playground, they had X-Play, they had that other show where it was just like a roundtable discussion. I forget what it was called.
And then there's Morgan Webb.
That's at X-Play.
Yeah,
she's the one on the other show. She's the one on the roundtable discussion that I was talking about.
Yeah,
like they had Cinematech.
Bring them back.
And that was it. It was like 4, maybe another show, whatever the show was before it became Attack of the Show. I forget what it was called. But that show, and that was like their 5 shows, and they just kept showing those over and over again. Now, they had the disadvantage of, being around in the infancy of the internet.
That is true.
Like I remember the iPhone didn't even come out until Attack of the Show came out, because I remember when they were making a big deal about the stupid iPhone on Attack of the Show, with that dorky guy who used to host it. I forget his name, Kevin Pereira. I guess I didn't forget his name. So that's how old they are. If I mean, this is all in hindsight, but if G4 were to come out now, all they got to do is go look on YouTube for a bunch of people that they want to pick up and bring onto their channel, bring their shows with them, up their budgets a little bit from where they are now, and they could have filled up an entire week's worth of programming.
Yeah.
With all the different things you see on YouTube nowadays. Exactly. This is like once a week shows. They're not even shows that have to run every day of the week.
That's another thing with all these YouTubers now that do the Let's Plays and whatnot. You know,
Let's Plays could have been big on there.
So much opportunity. Freaking,
and again, competitive gaming. You could have had 2 different like leagues of sports. Of games.
But they had
and split that up into different seasons where each season was a different genre of game, and then that would keep it fresh also.
But they had a show. They did, and I don't remember what it was called, but I remember
Neither
it was
does anybody else,
show.
So clearly they didn't.
Yeah, no, they did have a show because I remember it was for it was for competitive games.
It wasn't like a weekly show though.
No, it wasn't a weekly show, but I mean they still had it.
This is something they did every once in a while. No, I'm talking about this is something you show like every day, every week.
Right. But even then,
but actually have it be like a league.
Right.
Where people are competing and there's brackets and things.
But not only that, they also have, like I said, have these shows where like they could have, there was so much opportunity there. They could have hired like these Let's Players or whatnot. Like freaking PewDiePie. I hate the guy, but I hate the guy as a
but I'm not even Let's Plays, but like there's like the Living in 8 Bits guys that come out and they just do like a variety show. You could have upped their budget and they could have just been like your Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Where they're just coming out with all these different skits based on video games. And they're not the only ones. There's a whole bunch on YouTube of people that do just like parodies of video games and stuff. You can have your music shows like Epic Game Music, that guy, and stuff like that. Like there's all sorts of things that you could do now. Just look on the internet, be like, oh, let's make that a show. Let's make that a show. Let's make that 2 shows.
Right.
So like if somebody were to bring it back now, it would be great. Problem is, your base audience would be all those people that play video games. Most of those people now digest their media through the internet already.
Right.
So quite honestly, the best place for this to exist, I think, is not on TV.
Yeah, and I think that's the way things are, sadly that's the way things are going. Like I said, I mean, I would love to see G4 come back in that kind of format. I've had that idea for the longest time, even before they decided to stop airing it. Or did they stop?
You can stream channels on the internet now. Like, it doesn't even need to be on TV itself.
Oh, I know. The house I'm living in right now, they have...
Well, that's the tough part. Yeah, not everybody's got good internet.
Yeah, that's the thing. But the house I'm living in right now, they have Comcast, and they were kind enough to give me an account and whatnot, and I don't need cable up here because I can actually watch television through my computer here, and it's like, it's convenient, Like the only thing that's annoying is they can't air commercials sometimes. So which I'm fine with. I don't need to see commercials, but it's kind of
that long bit of silence.
Yeah, that long. No, where you got the thing where like it's like USA or whatever channel you're watching it, and there's just this cheesy music playing in the background. It's
like, the logo floating.
Make it stop. Like, I'd rather watch commercials.
PlayStation TV is like that sometimes too. Like, we were watching Disney XD with the kids the other day, and like halfway through the commercials, like the commercials just drop off, and it would just be the Disney XD logo pulsating for like 3 minutes. And with kids, that's just murder. So like, I think the internet's broken, Dad. I'm like, no, just wait. It'll be back.
Right. Well, and that's the thing with when it all comes down to it, even after everything we've just said, you're right. The
of course,
internet is the main source of media nowadays. I mean, look at how these cable companies are trying to rip you off. Okay,
I can't because I got rid of cable a long time ago.
Yeah, I hate you. Right now, I'm lucky enough to where I don't have to pay for cable right now, but I see what they're doing. You know, when I was living at my previous location, when we ordered Comcast, if you wanted internet, it was ridiculously expensive. But if you attach it to television, you can save a good $25.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, because they're
Gotta
so
get them
desperate.
package deals.
Yes, they're so desperate to hang on to those people who are still watching. And to be honest, I think I may have watched the actual television once or twice. That's it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I watch all my TV on TV, but that's because I have a Chromecast and also have PlayStation TV, and that all runs through the TV. So,
right.
So I do watch TV on TV. I don't have cable anymore. We may actually, I sound like such a hypocrite now. We may actually be getting Dish Network, but that's mostly just because my wife is desperate to get Japanese TV, and that's one of the few ways you can get it for relatively inexpensive.
Right.
So,
and you know,
but I probably wouldn't watch most of it. I'm still a really big YouTube watcher. It would just be nice. It seems like right now, like all these competitive gaming things are all just kind of split off into all these other little factions. There's no unity. There's no MLB of competitive gaming. It would be nice if there was just a nice, concise, one-stop shop to find where all that stuff is. I have a feeling YouTube gaming is trying to become that.
You know
but it's
what?
Still not successful.
Clearly, they're not advertising it well, because I was just reminded of YouTube gaming this week. Okay?
The only reason why I know it exists is because I did download the app, and every now and then I'll actually go into like my full apps list, and it'll be down there at the bottom. I was like, oh yeah, YouTube gaming. I won't open it.
Right, no, and I get it, but I mean, like, considering this is how sad it is. Considering that we are trying to start up our cross-platform channel and whatnot, and I completely forgot that YouTube had a gaming channel,
and it's honestly really entity. Good for finding what you want.
Right,
like if you just want to find Street Fighter videos, just put in the word Street Fighter, and it'll ask if you want to just subscribe to the game Street Fighter. And it'll throw every Street Fighter video it can find into your feed.
But they need to advertise it more, because I'm not seeing it here on my YouTube channel. I don't see the option for it on my app. I forgot it existed.
You got to go out of your way to find it. Yeah.
You shouldn't have to do that if you want a gaming channel. I should not have forgotten about this, considering we wanted to start up our own channel. You know,
that's the only reason why I even downloaded it. As soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, this might be handy for the channel. And I haven't used it since.
Exactly. And so, you know, it's like, come on, you know, up your game. You know, you want this YouTube Red. I don't know how successful.
That should be their slogan.
There you go.
Good job. Maverick wins.
Yeah, I want my paycheck, YouTube. They need to advertise this on their main page, especially considering if they're looking at the algorithm and they're looking at what kind of content I watch, because I like to watch gaming based, you know, channels, right next to horror based channels. But anyway. But I have a perfect comment, you know, make sure they're gaming, and then my supposed true horror stories. I call them supposed, but that's a story for another day. Supposed true horror stories, and you would think that they would tell me, "Hey, if you like this, why don't you watch our YouTube gaming channel?"
Right?
You know,
I've never seen it. I don't even know if there's like a YouTube gaming like web page that you can go to like change YouTube into. I don't. Look that up.
Well,
there's an app for it. The app on the phones is actually very different from the YouTube app. So they very, at least on the phone, seem to go out of their way to make them distinct from each other.
Right.
Like as soon as you open YouTube gaming, like whatever's kind of like the most popular stream going on right there, it'll just start playing it as soon as you open the app, whether it's something you care to watch or not. Right. So it's distinctly different from the YouTube app, but
the only reason why I wasn't reminded. Okay, the only reason I was reminded of this was because Mike Matei, he does some Let's Plays. He does some Let's Plays, and he happened to be doing what game was it that he was doing? Was he doing Tiny Toons that day? I think he was doing Tiny Toon Adventures. I'm not 100% sure, but he was doing some game that piqued my interest. So I okay, well, I don't usually watch these. Let's go ahead and watch. No, I'm sorry. That was something different. I take it back. It was Kite Tales I was watching. So they were playing PT, and there was an option there to watch it on their YouTube YouTube gaming channel. And so I switched to it, and it switched to this black screen. It looked completely different from YouTube, with the layout and everything. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you live chat on those, like Twitch?
Yeah, you could live chat in it. I'm pretty sure it was Kite Tales that I was watching.
Oh, see?
It wasn't Mike Matei.
So much more they could be doing.
But yeah, and I only found out because I happened to see that little icon, and it wasn't this week. Sorry, it was a couple of weeks ago. But just to be able to find out that was still there, and I had to find out that way when it could tell me here on the front page, because I'm on the front page right now. You know, at the top, what's it saying to me? Subscriptions, home, my channel, watch later, library, subscriptions. Okay, fine. You know, cool. I have all that there, but you're not telling me about your gaming channel anywhere here.
Yeah, I don't know why they're being real stealth about it. Like, well, if people want it, they can get it. But if they don't, it's cool. They're still watching YouTube, whatever. I guess they feel like it's not going to up their numbers, and so they don't feel the need to kind of push it. I don't think them pushing YouTube gaming would really help YouTube all that much, because they're just pretty much taking all their numbers from regular YouTube and just moving them over to YouTube gaming. But it would really help the content creators who are trying to do gaming stuff. And it would be nice to get more things consolidated like that, like have more gaming tournaments and things in one place where you can find them instead of having to search them out. I gotta go watch Evo on Evo's channel. I gotta go watch the Skullgirls stream on on Twitch, and then I gotta go watch this other tournament over on this thing. Like, it would be nice to just have everything in one consolidated place. TV would be a good place to do that. I don't know how viable it is anymore.
Yeah, TV is... I don't want to say TV is a dying medium, because, I mean, there are... And I'm not saying this as a joke. There are elderly people there who aren't going to get with the times.
Right. It's not a dying medium right now.
It will be eventually,
though. It will be a dying medium, though.
Yeah, if people your age and my age are watching more things on YouTube right now, it's only a matter of time. But I say this, but at the same time, when I was working at Toys R Us, come across many parents who are my age who don't know what the hell YouTube is.
No. You know? But I think you're going to start seeing a lot more like Sling TV type stuff of PlayStation TV type stuff. Once Apple TV starts streaming live channels, the TV's days are numbered.
I believe it, because people are also getting tired of having to buy all these package deal shit. You know, I'm looking, you know, I get going back to the place that I'm living at. You know, there's a whole slew of channels on there that
nobody watches.
Yeah, I can tell you about 3 or 4 that I watch. You know, and I can't even name them. See, because I barely watch them. You know, I watch the standard, ABC, because it goes, like I told you, I like Once Upon a Time and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched CBS because of Supergirl. Now it's going to be WB. Then I have a child, so occasionally I'll have to sit there and watch Nickelodeon or Disney Channel. Sometimes I watch Disney Channel myself, because sadly enough I've grown to like some of these shows that have come on, as lame as they are. Although they've gotten better since the days of what's that show with Hilary Duff? The one with a little cartoon and
Duff Knows It All.
No.
Duffing About.
No.
Duff times
Lizzie
2.
McGuire.
Okay.
Lizzie McGuire. That show.
Living the Duff.
Yeah. Duff beer. Those shows. Identification. See, I can't even say it right. Investigation Discovery. Occasionally, I watch the Science Channel because that's where MythBusters is on right now. It's not even on Discovery Channel anymore, and MythBusters has ended. You know,
right?
So I don't know. By the way, Carrie Biden, call me. So yeah,
they're all gonna call you.
They're all gonna call me. They all listen to this podcast. Either way, dude, there's so many. So many channels that it's saturated with, and nobody watches. You know, not even the movie channels. You know, in fact, even the stuff that they watch, a lot of it's on demand.
Right?
you know,
you devote it. Is that
right.
TiVo? You whip it and then you whip it good, and then you watch it. Mm-hmm. They TiVo it or DVR, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays. So it's all just pick and choose what you want to watch. Like nobody wants, the Golf Channel, Christian Reader's Digest.
There's a channel for that.
Like again, I was researching all these. I was researching subscriptions to try and find if I can get international TV on some of these things, and I was going through some of these packages. I'm like, what the are these channels? Do people watch this? There was like 5 different, just Christian based. Not that I'm anti-Christian, but religious based TV.
Yeah.
Do people really watch that? And does everybody want that? I don't think everybody wants those. Why do I have to get them?
No, I don't either. I'm fine with I'm fine with on demand, to be honest.
And I think that's competitive gaming's last final hurdle is how are they even if they were to create this show that enough people would like to keep it going, how is anybody going to find it?
I know
in this giant bog of worthless TV channels that we have now.
Well, maybe we answered our own question by putting on ESPN, which is a more well-known channel that people are more likely to go to.
But then they put it on at 2 a.m, so who cares?
That's their other problem. See, it's okay, we're going to do this, but we're not trying, but we're trying.
And then again, I came here for the sports. This isn't a sport. This is just these kids with their blinky games. Next.
Right. So I don't know.
Keep going around in circles.
It's like I could see my dad just trying to flip those channels he's trying to watch. You remember he used to watch football all the time, and so I could just see him saying, "Why are they showing these monkeys jumping around on thing all day?" You know, everything to him was monkeys.
Monkeys, yeah, of course.
Yeah, look at that. It was he saw Mario on there. Look at that monkey jumping around and everything. It's like, why is everything a monkey to you, Dad? Why?
Yeah, but I would like to see Evo get some more prestige. I bet you that would kind of bring it up a little bit, at least raise a little bit more interest than competitive gaming has had in the past. Mm-hmm. But something more individual based, where you just kind of get a sense of who these people are more than just these teams that nobody gives a damn about.
All right, nobody's. I don't know. I don't know why they're trying to make it a thing. Maybe it's just something we're both not. Well, no, because again, you're into Evo, which is something I'm not even into. I'm not saying don't air it,
Right.
But again, why ESPN?
Well, it's a bad channel. It's a bad name.
Yeah,
eSports.
Why not put it on Fox? They put everything on Fox before they cancel it.
It sounds like a Simpsons joke.
In part it is.
Put it on Fox.
We'll sell it to Fox. Yeah, they'll buy anything.
So I guess in the end, the lesson here is never try.
I guess not. I don't know. It's like I can't see why they would want to put it on ESPN. That's the thing. I know we've gone on about this for 2 hours now. Why ESPN? But
they're pushing it too hard. I think too hard and too early.
I'm wondering if they signed some kind of deal where their lives depended on it, and that's why they're doing it.
Could be. It's. I don't think gaming is ready for the mainstream yet. We're still at that point where people are trying to blame all their problems on video games.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we need to get past that hurdle first.
video games can't catch a break. I mean, look, comic book movies are finally coming to light. Remember what a bad rap they were getting back in the 50s and the 60s?
It's just now that we finally gotten to a point where we're expecting greatness from every comic book movie. Movies have been based on comic books all the way back to almost the beginning of movies with those, is it George Reeves? Christopher Reeves' dad? Christopher Reeves' dad. George Reeves,
wasn't his dad?
His dad was also or his grandfather?
Wasn't? No,
like
he wasn't.
They were both Reeves.
I know that they think they just happen to have the same last name.
Are you sure? I thought it was like his dad or his grandfather or something.
Okay, continue to speak while I look this up.
George Reeves. But anyways, so Superman and Batman have been around since like the 20s, which is why... That's the exact. I made my own meme there when people were bringing up how comic book movies were going to destroy Hollywood, and I was like, "Yes, they've been destroying Hollywood since 1928 or whatever." Whatever I wrote.
Right. See, not related. This George Reeves and Christopher Reeve.
Oh, one was more than the other. Okay.
Yeah. So. Anyway, yeah, they just happen.
Apologies, Reeves fans.
they just happen to have.
You know who is going to be texting us later?
Oh,
I can't believe you said that.
Oh yeah, I know. I expect a text from him.
How did you not know?
And he'll text at the worst possible time because I'm always in the middle of something when he texts. When he texts that. Oh my god.
It's all right. We love you.
Yeah, we do.
So in the end, in the end,
stay out of my beer cabinet.
In the end, go ahead. And this has been the Simpsons Quotes Podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. In the end,
watch Evo, people. That's my suggestion right now, because this whole esports thing is not going anywhere, and quite frankly, I have no interest in watching the esports that they're trying to shove at us. I would say go watch Evo, because there's a lot of interesting stories that come out of Evo, like real exciting moments that I don't think you would see anywhere else. And fighting games are at least a lot easier for people who don't even play video games to understand what's going on. This guy's punching this other guy in the face. I get it.
See, and
some of them even have characters that you know. Like there's MVC3 tournaments, Marvel vs. Capcom, so you get to see characters from the Marvel universe beat up on all these other characters that you might not know who they are. But you can at least see Deadpool shooting people. So, yeah. Like again, already there's a connection there. You understand who some of these characters are. That already is more interesting to me than whoever these Dota characters are. I have no idea.
Well, what I say is, go outside, get some sunshine, get into that car, go to the store, buy your game, come back, play it yourself.
Not if it's No Man's Sky.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I've been doing that for a while.
Careful what you say. You could get shot.
Oh. How about you guys? Does anybody out there watch eSports? Is anybody sitting there yelling at us, going, "You idiots! Esports is the greatest thing ever. You just don't understand it"? Let us know. You can find us on Twitter and tell us about it at CrossPlat Show.
Tell us what we're not getting.
Comment. Yeah. Explain it to us. If 140 characters isn't good enough for you, you can email us at crossplatformshow@gmail.com. Send us comments, questions, whatever you want. Tell us how esports is actually a lot better than we're giving it credit for. Maybe it is. We don't care. We're not here to tell you you're wrong. You can join our Facebook page, talk to us and all of our other millions and millions of fans that we have.
And millions.
Cross-platform show on the Facebooks. Okay? That's where we are. If you're listening to us for the first time, please subscribe. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us everywhere. If you have the ability to leave comments below. Hey, if you're listening to us on YouTube, hey, thanks for sticking around. I know it's not that fun to have a static image. Leave a comment below. Tell us how you don't like the static image and you want to see our ugly mugs on the internet while we talk.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe one day. I have to get a makeup team. Go on. I'll have to get a makeup team first. Anyways, that's our show. Next week, this is it. We've arrived. It is the week before E3. Hype mode is on 11. And who knows, this could be one of the last E3s as we know them again before they go back to being a small E3, before they come back as a big giant E3 again. But, so yeah, we're talking all things E3 next week. So that'll be exciting. And I can't wait. E3 is a fun time for me, at least. I like watching press events. You get to watch them this year. Do your due diligence, sir.
I will try to get excited about them this year.
Come on. Last year was great. So many great memories last year.
Last year had Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Shenmue
Cup
3.
Boy. Shenmue 3. Cup
Last
Boy.
Guardian finally got demoed.
Last Guardian. And I think that's about it. If I'm forgetting something, you guys can...
Those are some big moments. Whereas some years, like, nothing great really happens.
Hey, the Xbox One reveal was amazing.
No, but the PlayStation 4 that followed it, where they were just kicking Xbox while they were down, that was fun.
Yeah, okay.
That was so much fun.
That was funny.
So... It's a good time, guys. I'm excited. You'll feel my excitement next year even more. I'll put it through the internet waves. Anyways, that's our show for tonight. We will catch you all next week. Bye-bye.
And I'm Maverick. Bye-bye.
Oh, and I'm Menji, in case you forgot.
Take care, everybody.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.